What's your name in the blue hat?
Josh.
Josh, okay. Are there 2 seats up here?
Yes.
Are you sitting in the last one? Who's sitting next to you with purple hair? Is it purple, yeah, what's your name?
Rachel.
Rachel, come on. Okay.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4 seats up here.
Okay. So the Army lady's gonna take charge and make it happen. Right? That's fine, you're good. You're good.
Okay,
That's
there's
what we're
4
gonna talk
seats
about
here,
today.
there's 1 over there in the front.
Right, that's exactly what we're gonna talk about. Okay, you are both, what's your name? Yes? Ashley, what's your name? Okay, Ashley and Brianna, you gonna notice that there's a seat empty next to you, or you just gonna sit there and act like there's somebody sitting there? Okay? Lovely scarf doesn't cut it, right? So I suggest you say something. Okay? So what's your name in the back in the orange? What? Stephanie, all right, let's go. Right here in the middle seat. Let's go. All right. We good and situated? Okay, so here's the deal. All right, we just looked at a little bit of leadership right there. That wasn't my plan, wasn't my purpose, but I coach college football for a living. All right? And most of the time, I'm not blessed with the 4.0s and the 29s on the ACT. So all of my football players have one rule. Okay? They got to take notes, go to class, and sit in that seat right there. Okay? If they're sitting 1 row back from front and center, they're going to be in trouble. And when I class check them, I really don't punish my guys that much. It's one really bad punishment, then they get the picture. Okay? But here's what I'm going to tell you. All you guys are trying to learn, right? Everybody in here is to learn. Anybody just get a paper degree and they're trust my baby and they can just do what they want as soon as they graduate? Anybody? Okay? Don't short yourself and sit in the back of class because then you won't retain anything. Alright? I didn't study. I'll tell the story real quick. We're already off track a little bit. Alright, I went to Naval Academy. Okay? Went to Naval Academy, I had a 240 on the SAT English. Okay? I was completely illiterate. Get to Naval Academy, and I tried to be the cool guy, sit in the back. Didn't work very well. Alright? So about a weekend, did bad on my first test. I moved up to this seat, and it was like magic. I didn't have to do anything. I just sat in that seat, took notes, took tests, got 3.0. Alright? Didn't have any books, didn't have to study, didn't really do a whole lot. But if I didn't sit in that seat, or that seat, or that seat, it didn't work. Alright? I couldn't sit in the back. So anyway, a little bit about leadership. Alright? Leadership is simply my ability as a leader to manipulate everybody around me to do better. And manipulation kind of has a bad stigma in our culture, United States or America. But the bottom line is that's really what it is, right? A great leader gets everybody around him to be better. So I tell everybody around me I have one mantra. I build champions for life, okay? My GA is up there, Chase Calcagney, and he's uncomfortable right now because we got here a little late. I beat him up about the camera and the microphone, but that's a great experience for him, okay? We just sat down, we met the dean of the business school over there having lunch, right? What is
She was the department manager.
Department manager, okay? So we're meeting people. We're over here moving and shaking at Bowling Green for a day. That's not an experience that he's normally going to get as a graduate assistant in football, okay? That's leadership, right? I want him to be as good as he can possibly be as a person. Does that make sense? Okay? Now, listen, if you guys got any questions, I know I came in here and I rattled the cage, and there's still a seat empty over there. Okay, what's your name? Desiree.
I want to sit there.
Okay? I like the promptness, Chris. I like the promptness. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to talk about leadership today. A lot of you guys aren't business majors, right? Okay? Does anybody know what the statistics are basically on the number of people that go to work in their degree? It's like 25% roughly, right? So you get a business degree and you're working something else. Okay? I know this. I did a bunch of research. We're talking about leadership versus management. All that stuff is great. Okay? If you're not a leader, you're not going to succeed in this country. That's just a fact of life. All right, let's get into some leadership examples, and we'll talk about some real, I guess, kind of awesome dynamic things that I've had a fortunate part to be in. So, okay, I went to the Naval Academy. As you can see, I'm not your standard typical starch-pressed, real clean cut, well-versed Naval Academy person, correct? That's not hard to picture. You guys are like, man, this dude's crazy. Okay? So I wanted to SEAL build out the Naval Academy. Played football, had a 3.0, and was basically a maniac for 4 years. Okay? I got in more trouble than anybody that I can remember, anybody I know at the Naval Academy. It was nothing major. It was always dumb stuff. Like I made a face at a senior at the table because he was a foreign national. I didn't understand he was asking for the orange juice. Boom, trouble. You know, I locked everybody in their rooms so that we didn't have to hear them yelling at us. Boom, trouble. So anyway, needless to say, right? I wanted to go SEALs, and the SEALs were like, look, man, you're in too much trouble. So I had to reconsider. And I'm always one, I don't make excuses. Right? There's no excuses in my life. I am where I am, and I'm going to get where I'm going. So I had to pick a ship, all right? And in the Navy, you got really good ships, cruisers, destroyers, aircraft carriers, and then you got the USS Merrimack, okay? You see all that rust on the side of the ship? Dirty old oiler, okay? Now here's the best thing about that dirty old oiler. It doesn't have any guns, doesn't have any weapon systems, barely has radar, okay? So if I'm trying to get qualified on the ship so that I can get a SEAL pin and go to SEAL training, so here's how it works. I got to go to this ship and get my SWO pin, which is a Surface Officer Warfare pin, before I can go to SEALs, okay? I got to go get qualified in what they said I had to do. So long story short, I showed up on that ship, and 3 months later I was done, okay? Signed off, everything done. It normally takes 18 to 24 months. But what we're going to talk about leadership-wise on that ship was, at first, I was in charge of all the guys responsible for all that stuff you see outside. And when I got there, they were the worst division on the ship. Okay, first thing I did, I had a chief that had 7 DUIs. Think he was a good leader? Okay, no, not a lot. Fired him. Okay, then I had an E6 who I put in charge because he was the next guy in line. Okay, he was in charge for about a week. I fired him too. Okay, I ended up having another E6. He got put in charge, everything started running smooth. So when you're in a position of leadership, don't be afraid to fire people. Okay? I say it all the time. Our culture is one of acceptance. Okay? But when you're in a position of leadership, you can't accept mediocrity or poor performance, because that's what you're going to get. Okay? So I'll tell you right now, I come into a place, I'm jacking people. Okay? I came into my position room down at Finley. I got there in January. I jacked the 2 seniors, I jacked the junior, and now a sophomore's running the position group. Okay? Because I want to get to the guy that can make everybody do what I want them to do, and that's get better every day. Okay, so I'm on that ship, boom, BM1 Fabian takes over. Okay? He had a pretty interesting story. He was the #1 submariner driving submarines, but he got a money problem. Okay? I don't know where his money was going, maybe gambling. He didn't really drink a lot, but he wrote some bad checks on the submarine, and they pulled his clearance. Okay? So when they do that, your only choice is to come to the worst ship in the Navy. So here he is, right? I put him in charge, and he comes to me one day and says, hey, I want to get ship driver qualified. I said, man, that'd be awesome. You're smart, dude. You'd be fine. Okay? So I help him, right? My whole job as a leader is to make sure that I facilitate my guys that are underneath me getting better, right? I want my guys to be better than I am. Right now, I want them to have better opportunities. I want them to be exposed to better things. So long story short, boom. He ends up getting SWO qualified, which is an officer qualification as an E6. So to put that in layman terms, that's like coming in here as a freshman and someone coming to you and saying, hey, I want you to run the school of business. Okay? That's exactly what he did. Okay? He turned out to be the Surfland Sailor of the Year, #1 sailor out of 200,000 people. And I was fortunate enough to have him working for me. Right? So boom, my captain comes to me one day and says, hey, the OS division, the people in charge of the 1 radar system, right, and the radios, they've had 3 ensigns. So the first level in the Navy, 2 of the females had nervous breakdowns, had to be put off the ship. Okay? The unique thing about the division was 13 females, no males. Okay? So here I come, right? I roll in here on fire. So I won't say it was catty, but it was different. It was 13 females on a Navy ship with no men in the whole room. Okay? So I had to adjust a little bit. So the first job I had, you see that aft thing in the back, it's called the house, the only thing sticking up? That thing is 7 stories tall. It's massive. Okay, it doesn't look that big on here. I got the picture and I was like, but it's huge. Okay? My boss came to me and said, hey, I want that painted in 2 weeks. Okay? So the next premise of leadership, never put any limitations on your people. Okay? If I had to take this group, this room and form a company, there would be 4, 5, maybe 10 people in this room that would have absolutely monumental, game-changing influences on that company. Okay? But you don't know who it is. Right? So if I came in here and said, hey, you guys got 2 weeks to paint that house, how long do you think it's going to take to paint that house? 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks, you're going to take 2 weeks, right? Okay? So I didn't know this at the time, but it normally took a month. Okay? That's how long the 13 females, because they're responsible for that space, took them to paint that thing. Okay, so I come in and I'm like, screw it. I'm like, look, as soon as you can get that house painted, you get to go home. They're like, what? I said, yeah, you go on Liberty. So on a ship, like Liberty don't have to go to work. All right, so I basically said, hey, when you get it done, you don't have to go to work. You can have the rest of the week off. So they looked at me and they were kind of like, and they started crying and whining. I just said, hey, I'm out of here. I went back, I played video games for a living on that shit. Right? That's what I did. NHL 2094. So I leave that ship that night and they're painting. I come back in the morning, this was Monday, come back on Tuesday, they're painting. Okay? Tuesday evening, I go out and I inspect all the work that they have done. Okay? And it was awesome. And they were rolling. Okay? Boom. Wednesday I come in, they're all out there painting like maniacs. Okay? I inspect what they did, looks awesome. I get a call 11 o'clock on Wednesday night. Right? Sir, come in, we're done, we're going on Liberty. So what do I gotta come in for? Well, you gotta come and inspect the ship. All right, that's good, I already did. Go home. Right? Painted the ship in 3 days. Okay? 3 days. Took them, everybody else before that, same division, same people, took them a month. Okay? A month of wasted time, they did it in 3 days. Okay? Gotta motivate your people. Right? You gotta find the stuff that makes them tick. Women are different than men. Can't really yell at women. You gotta hit them with the soft stuff. Okay? But you gotta know who you're leading. That's part of it. Okay, so anyway, long story short, funny ending. I show up at quarters the next day, and it's me and one person behind me that had duty for the day. Right? Boom, I'm standing there, yippee-ki-yay. My boss turns around, he panics, because there should be 13 women behind me, right? What happened? I said, what you mean what happened? Where's the division? I said, oh man, they're at home. He's like, the house isn't painted. I said, oh yeah, it is. What? No way! He turns around, and then he proceeds, I'm following around for 2 hours while we inspect the house, right? We're looking at all the little paint, we like, yeah. He's like, damn, how did you get them to paint the house in 3 days? I said, man, I gave them the next 2 days off. He's like, you can't do that. I said, why not? He's like, I don't know. Right? So don't limit your people. Give them a task, let them go, let them catch fire. Right? USS Merrimack got out of there after 2 years. I'm telling you, man, it was a blast. Every day was a party on that ship. So I'm ending with this, plain and simple. I do the day what others won't so that I can achieve what others can't. Alright? It's simple. Right? I didn't have to come up here and talk to you guys today. Right? But I want to do the extra things. I want to be a head coach. And that's the bottom line. I don't know when you guys might take a position in the academic, in the athletic department, and call me in 10 years from now, hey, I'm at University of Michigan, I want you to come in and do for the head job. Right? I don't know. But I know this is an opportunity for me to sell myself to you guys, an opportunity for you guys to learn from what I've been through. Make sense? Okay, where do we sit in classroom? On row center seat. We got.
So how did you get into coaching?
I was working in corporate America, crazy story. My company I went to work for, a security consulting company. I was helping craft the national strategy for the war on terrorism in the Pentagon. their company goals stated that you had to work towards your life goals, or you didn't get your bonus. So the first quarter I was there, I was supposed to get a check for $5,000. They asked me what I had done to get a coaching job. I said nothing. They didn't give me my $5,000. Okay? So from there, I went and I stood on the sidelines at the University of Maryland for a full year. In a suit and tie. I went to work at 4 in the morning. I got off at 3 to make practice at 4 at Maryland in College Station. After a year, they gave me a GA job. Right? You could say I earned it, you could say whatever. I did what I had to do to get into coaching. Because it was keeping my money from me. All right? It's crazy how it worked out, but I got a job. I haven't looked back since. Questions? What you got?
How did you transition to your military training and switch over actually dealing with civilians rather than?
Really bad. Really bad. I'll be honest with you. I just told you I was in charge of pirates, right? Okay. When I got to corporate America, man, it's soft, right? As my guy said, I need to operate on 6. You can't operate on 10, right? You operate on 10, everybody's like, oh my God, they scared, everything else. So I try to walk around at 6. Right? You guys saw like 7 in here today. Right? I ran around 4 years as a SEAL on 10. Yeah, it's hard. I tell everybody, that transition out is tough. You know, I love the military. I would stay forever if I knew I'd be able to walk when I got done and I could have some kids, which you can't do. Make sense? Yeah, it's hard. It ain't easy. Especially, you go to combat, you get banged up a little bit, your head's a little shaky. You don't want to hear that, I can't get it done. Right? So I know in my last job, and even now, that's the one thing I try to impart on my kids, right, on my football players. There are no obstacles too great. Corporate America, you're going to have somebody come and say, hey man, I just can't get to work on it. You're like, what? You serious? You know what, I'm fine. But same kind of transition. I took Christian Argy. She was a junior employee at my company. She's now senior vice president. So same kind of deal. Make everybody around you a champion. I don't even think it makes you look good. You got to work a lot less. If everybody below you is super capable and you empower them to do great things, then you look like a rock superstar and you really ain't doing it. That's the definition of leadership, right? So my definition of a great, amazing leader, he leaves for a year, and you come back and the organization's better. What else? 2 minutes. What do you got?
Besides Jerry Rice, who else do you get your inspiration from?
Everybody, man. Everybody. I got a kid, you guys want to Google 2 things. Who's taking notes right now? Ain't nobody taking notes? Everybody's laughing, but I'm not, right? Taking notes, right? Okay, I want you to go Google Mike Day, okay, and Zervin Singleton. Okay? Anybody in here lived in a car? Anybody had to live in a car? Anybody had to live on a couch for a semester? Okay, got a couple couch guys, okay, a couple couch guys, couch lady, okay?
Does that count?
No. Zervin Singleton slept in a car in Alaska for 3 years. Okay? Brigade Commander, United States Naval Academy. Okay? Won the ESPN Inspirational Award. Just Google him, listen to his story, inspiration. Right? You think you got it hard? You think you got tough times paying the bills? Shoot, his mom crackhead. Lived in a car in Alaska. Does it get cold in Alaska? Okay. I worked with a guy at my last job. He's Mexican and black. His mom stole the kids. There was eight of them. They lived in a car in Tijuana for 4 years. Okay? You think it's hot in Tijuana? Yeah. And there's 8 kids. He said, man, you'd be sticking kids in there. You're sticking. So Mike Day got shot 29 times at one time and still won the gunfight. Right? With no gun. You guys are laughing, but read the wiki. Right? Read it. Okay? That's what I take inspiration from.